All right. Looks like we are live. I want to thank everyone who is joining us today. Let me put me up on the phone so we can make sure that I like to double check us on all the areas. So if you're out there, we want to thank you. Please start chatting so we can make sure that we're working. You know, Christy and I, we always like to, it's the blind leading the blind with the technology. Get us in the ethers and we are on it. Get us with technology, but we seem to be doing well. I think the last few times we've gone live, we've done a really good job.
Thanks to you. If it was
Yeah.
up to me, we'd still be struggling.
Yeah, you know, for people watch. Hi, Brittany. This is called Restream for anyone familiar with technology. So you know, when you go live like this, use a third party streaming. This is Restream. I had to get one of my daughter's friends, who she went to high school with, to kind of walk me through it because I'm old.
Can you put up the comments or the people?
Oh yeah, let me put them over on your side.
See those.
There you go. They should come up.
Yay.
Brittany commented. Oh, there it is. Brittany's there. All right. So I want to thank everyone who is joining us out there. We are here going to talk about just please, if you have any questions, though, put them in the comments. Good afternoon, Lee. Thank you for being here. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments. We have some that we're going to go through, but we would love to hear from y'all. Anything you want to ask us, we're fair game. Kristi and I, we're open books. So whatever you want to know.
Yes. We want your questions, please.
Absolutely. Those are the most fun. Yes, we have a list, but they're fun. Now we're going to start with the one that I know is it can be controversial a little bit according to what train of thought you're from. Hi, Chelsea. Thank you for being here. But do we really reincarnate?
I think we covered this one last time, actually.
Did we?
Yes, because
Okay.
I said yes and no, that we do reincarnate. However, if there's no time on the other side, how can we have past lives and future lives?
Oh, that's right. You did do this. Please give that explanation again, though, Kristi, because I love the way you did it on the hand. So there's a reason. I'm always a big believer in that if something like this happens, it's not necessarily a mistake. It's spirit saying, hey, someone needs to hear this. And I loved your explanation.
All right. Thank you. So yes, we use the language of past life and future life. However, it's really parallel lives. And I don't know about y'all, but I have a hard time wrapping my head around that sometimes. So the way I like to use it when Kristi mentioned the hand is think of this as your soul right here. And, you know, our entire soul can't come into this human body. The energy couldn't handle it. So it goes off into parallel lives. So this is one life, another life, another life, another life, but it's all connecting with your soul, which then is connected to source. So that's why I can have somebody who has maybe a repeating issue, because when I do my sessions, I go into past lives quite a bit. And I'll go into a past life, and the energy of that past life is affecting this life. And it might be because of those parallel lives are just right next to each other, and that energy is going back and forth. So we can clear that, separate those, so those lives can be separate, but even though they're still part of the soul. So we still use the terminology past life, present life, future life, because it's easier for people to understand, including me.
Yeah. I love the way you do the hand thing. That's just such a beautiful analogy of that. You know, I did a whole teaching. I taught a class last night on this, and you know, the trauma that you can bring from past lives. It also is connected to generational, the generational things coming in. So a lot of times we think, you know, like we don't have to deal with our own stuff enough, but then we're dealing with our family stuff that they brought in from past lives. So it's just the energetic cords that connect us to other lives and other people is just, they go on forever.
Well, and a really fun story, a friend of mine, her husband all of a sudden started having this horrible pain in his side. and he couldn't get rid of it. He went to every doctor. They couldn't figure out what it was. And she happened to go to a psychic and said, well, in a past life, he was hit by a cannonball in the side. And it would have been approximately the same age that he was then, which is why it flared up. And she goes, go home and tell him. And my friend said, he doesn't believe in any of this stuff. And she said, it doesn't matter. His soul will recognize it. So she
Yes.
went home and told him, and he's like, oh, you're crazy. What are you wasting money on these people for? You know, all
Of
the
course,
people.
all the things. Yes.
And he woke up the next day and has never had pain since.
Yes. I was working with someone and she was having a lot of liver pain, and we did a past life regression, and she had been stabbed in the liver. And once we cut that cord,
Yeah.
all the difference. Okay, so now let's answer some of these questions coming up. I just love this. Thank y'all for putting the questions in the chat. We love that. Do you think a piece of your soul could go into your kids or your grandkids?
That's another kind of a difficult one. So I'm going to say your soul, probably not, but they are part of your soul group. And then the DNA also goes into one person, which carries energy. So it can be maybe the energy of your soul going into your kids or your grandkids. But in the DNA, absolutely. But your
Yes.
soul is probably not going to split off that way. What do you think,
Yes,
Kristi?
no, I 1000% agree that you will get the energetic cord that I was talking about, the energy from that, and let's just say your grandmother has passed or your children's grandmother has passed. They're going to be around them in spirit from the time they're born. So they're going to have some of their energy and some of their habits transfused. This is exactly what I was teaching on last night, and how that's how those generational positive and negative things can come through. Now, I have, and it's even a quick turnaround. Let's just say you were young when your mom passed, right? So she's been in heaven. Now you've gone on to get married and have kids, and now you have grandkids that would actually be your mom's great grandkids. I've had people say, can that soul? Yes, that soul can reincarnate, but not likely, because it's a quick turnaround. We typically don't turn our souls around that quickly. Can it happen? Yes, it can, but our souls don't split. A part of them doesn't go. They can reincarnate, but it just doesn't usually happen that quickly.
Yeah, and when I have people meet their spirit guides for the first time, they'll say, "Oh, I think it's my mom." And I said, "It could be, but probably not."
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Unless someone passed before you were born, or maybe when you were 3. So what I do is I say, "Well, they're probably guiding you, but they might be on the B team." You
Right,
know?
exactly. That's a great way of putting it. They're not gonna be on the A team, and, our team is just vast that you have. You have guides, you have your angels, you have your, past loved ones, but yeah, they're not usually your guides. I was just also before I was, for everyone listening, Kristen, I've said this before, don't really know each other that well when it comes to sitting down and discussing our belief system, but it's funny how aligned we are with
Yeah,
what we believe.
yeah, it's wild.
Now, someone on here, oh, she popped. Let me see if I can find that chat again. My mother has been on her deathbed for 48 hours. She is in no pain, but what spirit could assist maybe me, in the process today? It's wearing on me.
Yeah, it does, because you wanna switch places with anybody
Yeah.
that you see, even if they're not in pain. They are making their transition, and it's just really difficult to watch someone decline that you love. I actually had a lady one time, she goes, her mother, she goes, "When is she gonna pass?" And I said, "Well, I don't do death predictions, we'll start there." But I
Correct.
said, "The portal isn't big enough." And because I looked up and her portal was only about this big, and all of a sudden I had a flash to when my mother passed. And she came to visit me in the drive back to Omaha the next day. And I was saying, "I'm just so sorry, that you had such a rough time." She's like, "It was nothing. It is so much harder being born than dying." And I made the connection that when you're born, you have to dilate and you have to get to
Right. Right.
centimeters for that baby to come out. And the same thing, when you're going to pass, that portal has to be a certain size so your loved ones can then reach out and help you transition over. So
Hmm.
what you can do is just understand that only your mother is in charge of when she's going to pass.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can do to push that, hold it back. Just trust that when her portal is big enough, she typically will start to see or feel energy of some of the loved ones that have gone before her. And that's
Absolutely.
usually a sign. And a lot of times, if they're nonverbal, they might point and just start pointing. And it's because they're seeing spirits come into the room and
Mhm.
they're recognizing them. That's usually a sign within maybe 24 hours that they're going to pass, but it's always up to them.
And Deb, I would encourage you to, sit in meditation, call in your guides and angels to give you the support and love that you need, because it is very draining. Like Christy said, it's very draining on you to watch your loved ones pass. So we are typically the ones left behind are the ones that need the support. So, call on your guides and your angels to give you support and peace and strength during this time. I also know sometimes it's helpful if you tell, not helpful for the one who's passing, but it makes you feel better if you just tell them it's okay, that they're loved, that they're going to meet their loved ones on the other side. They can hear you when, even if you feel like they're gone and they can't hear you, they can. I come back and when reading the ones that have passed, they will tell me some of these conversations that people have had with them.
Yeah.
I was sorry, I was stumbling. I was reading and talking at the same time. Don't try to do that, people. So it's funny. Because this Brittany question was on our list to talk about today. So let's just go ahead and bring that up. Brittany wants to know, what is the bridge between religion and spirituality? I've never quite resonated with the whole Bible or church, but feel really spiritual. Like maybe the people existed, but I take the stories with a grain of salt, for real, along with a completely objective point of view to learn more.
And obviously, it's a great question since we came up with it to discuss.
Right. Yes, it's on our list for today.
Um, to me, the biggest difference, the basis of all religion is love. It
Yeah.
absolutely is, and it's beautiful. It's when mankind got hold of it and started issuing things to control people.
Mhm.
That's where the great divide comes, because spirituality, you are on your own path, finding your way back to God, creator, spirit.
Yes.
And religion is like, if you don't do it this way, you're going to go to hell. There's punishment. And I don't know about you, but I was raised that God was an old man, the big white beard, and he's like, you're going to hell and you're going to hell.
Yes.
And it took me a long time to be comfortable even with the word God, because, the Bible it's translations from typically men, but the women that wrote some of the verses, that's all been hidden and filed away. So it's mostly by men, and it is a translation of what
Mhm.
they see. So it's a little bit like telephone tag, biblical telephone tag,
Right, that's true.
in how things are brought. And I think religion can be beautiful. I
Yeah,
think the Bible can be beautiful,
right.
but when there's anything fear attached to it, that's where I dismiss.
Absolutely.
Say,
Yeah.
"That's not for me," and spirituality is your own path with you working with love, getting your way back to God, source creator.
Yeah, I have to think about the Bible, the creation of the Bible back to, the Council of the Constantine, that was Council of Nicaea. They were creating the Bible, and the reason he even created this Bible was to bring his country together. So even whenever the Bible was being created, there were some negotiations on what was going to go in there and what wasn't. And if you're interested, I mean, you can read about it. It's just research the Council of Nicaea. That's where the Bible was created. Constantine was trying to get his, stop the warring tribes. So he brought all these bishops together. So even then there were negotiations. And I want y'all to think about, I was doing a public event one time, and of all the things I have said and all the people I have read and all the messages have come through, the thing that got people upset the most was something that was very true, is that there is not, because someone asked me, how do I do what I do and say I still believe in Jesus? I talk to Jesus all the time. My Jesus is of love and light. And I said, the Bible has a lot of man's hands on it. And you have to think about, there is not one incident in the Bible of a woman going to heaven. Now, I thought there was going to be an uproar in this event. People were Googling, people were AIing. I even had someone leave the room and call their pastor so she could get the Bible verse to prove me wrong. And the pastor was, no, she's right. Now you have men, I mean, that behave very badly in the Bible who went to heaven. Like it is written in the Bible that they went to heaven, but it's not documented. It's assumed. Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, some beautiful spiritual women, it's assumed they went to heaven, but it's not written that they went to heaven. So you have to, even that tells you kind of the lens through which the Bible was written, right?
Mhm.
And so I'm very much on Kristi's page that if you get into fear based, if you are using the Bible to judge someone else, that's where I'm out.
Yeah, me too.
If it's not of love and light, it's not going to be of my God and my Jesus.
Mhm.
Hi, Cosette. Looking forward to seeing you ladies on Friday evening. We're looking forward to seeing you there, Cozy. Jolene, thank you. She's going to be there. Looking forward to Friday night. Jolene is going to be there also.
Excellent.
And that's really why Kristi and I are going live to promote the event we're having Friday. So if y'all are in the Omaha area, right on the corner of 72nd and Harrison is this beautiful coffee shop, and it's called Coffee Alley, and we're going to be going in person. You have to go to one of our websites to get tickets, Kristi Godwin Psychic Medium or KristiPederson.com. And we both have an event section. And then you click on the events tab and you take it, just follow the directions and you get your tickets. And we would love to see you there. We had done one of these events together and wasn't really sure how it was going to go. And we got such great feedback. We decided, you know what, we're going to do this. We're going to do this somewhere. Right. Okay. Yeah. Chelsea said, I found that most of the time my intuition is always right. But Christianity teaches us not to lean on ourselves. It creates so much confusion. It does create confusion, and there is no greater guidance than your intuition, because your intuition is a direct link to your higher self, to the other realms. And you need to come and hang out in Cincinnati. So
We
now
might
what?
get on tour. What the heck?
Right. Let's see. Where's Nicole Johnson? Where do you live? She's a wish I was closer. I'd love to attend a live event. Cincinnati. How far is Cincinnati from us, Kristi? It's
Gosh,
quite a
I don't know.
like 9 hours, maybe. That'd be quite the road trip.
Cincinnati's right on the border of Kentucky and Ohio. So yeah, I still don't know. But I'd like to comment on
Nicole's
the
in New York.
intuition as well, and that's learning to trust yourself.
Yeah.
And as a society, going back for I don't know how long, we have been taught to look outside of ourselves for the answers.
Yeah.
And even when I do public speaking, I talk about, the crystals and the incense and the tarot cards and all of that. And I think they're great. I love them. I have all of them. However, they're tools. They are not
Mhm.
the answer. The answer is only inside yourself. And so
Yes.
when you trust your intuition, you are absolutely right. And it is a skill that we kind of have to relearn.
Yeah, we
I think
do.
to trust ourselves, and we cannot look outside ourselves for the answer. It's not there.
Right, for sure. Brittany now saying she's going to house us. So, in all seriousness, Kristi and I were just talking about this. We have someone who is going to look at like putting events on for us outside of the Omaha area. So, if someone out there has a skill set, they have an area that they want us to visit. We would not be opposed to that. If you know a place that we could go and speak, and especially if you would be willing to help us. Advertise it in your area. Like some of that's part of the problem is you don't know the area. We don't know how to advertise in the area. So that's part of the issue. So if you'd be willing to help us out, please contact one of us. All right. So now I don't think did we talk about how do we find my soulmate last time?
Mm-mm.
I didn't think so. Okay. That's what we're going to. But please keep putting your questions in the comments. We love answering them. The next one we're going to hit Stella. I'm telling you, get us a room. We'll be there. I like some Chicago. It's like 6-7 hours from us. How do I find my soulmate? I get this question so much.
I think there is a big misnomer with soulmates. People think it has to be a romantic relationship.
Yes.
And it doesn't. It can be, for sure. But a soulmate can be a best friend. A soulmate can be a parent. It can be any relationship where you can just look into each other's eyes and you have this deep, deep soul level recognition and understanding. So one of my least favorite questions is when someone comes in, is this the right guy for me? Is he my soulmate? And I'm like, no. If you have to ask, no.
Right. That is one thing that Kristi and I both very much have in common is we will tell you the truth. Like, if you're coming to us for an answer, we will tell you the truth. We'll try to give it to you as kindly and gently as we can. But you're coming to us for guidance. We are not going to tell you what you think, you want to hear. We know what you want to hear. But any good psychic medium is going to tell you the truth. And yeah, so I love that. Is this my soulmate? No, it is not. I agree. I think your soulmate comes to your life naturally when you're in alignment with self-love. And how that soulmate looks is going to be different.
Mhm.
It could be your best friend.
Mhm.
It could be a romantic partner. But I would encourage everyone to just live into as great alignment with yourself as you can. And then you're going to really attract what you need in that moment. So your job is to get yourself in alignment, to live to the highest octave, and then let the universe deliver to you what you need in that moment. And chasing is just never going to get you where you need to be.
No.
Oh, Cosette, what are you getting us into here? Just cozy. We love the questions. Keep them coming. I'm tired of learning tough lessons from difficult people in my life. Is this happening because I need to learn something that's beyond my reach right now? I need to move to the next level and feel like a hamster on a treadmill lately.
Well, to me, that is very much of a multi-layered question, or has many, many answers to it. First one is get off the treadmill. And so many people, it's repeat, 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 repeat. They don't quite understand that you can get off the treadmill. And I had one client, she goes, I just feel like I'm playing a chess game all the time. I said, quit playing the game. And that's the same. It could be karmic cleanup with some of these tough relationships, that there are lessons that you need to learn. Absolutely. But if it's repeat, 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 you're either not learning the big lesson, and this can be really uncomfortable for people to hear, it's your comfort zone. And a lot of times, if people, especially if they were born in a dysfunctional home, argumentative home, something like that, that becomes their comfort zone. They hate it, but they keep repeating, repeating, repeating because it's all they know and it's what they've been taught. And the willingness to get off the hamster wheel, the willingness to say, oh, I get it. That was my comfort zone, but I hate it. It doesn't matter. It's what you know.
Right. Also, I want Cozy, for you to give yourself some grace that you've been doing, like I'm hearing from Spirit, that you've been doing a lot of hard work. You've come a long way. So that means that you're putting up boundaries. And so you're not really filling the role you used to fill in other people's lives. Just like Kristi was talking about, if you were in some roles that you were very dramatic, a lot of arguments, a lot of drama. And now you've healed to the point where you're like, I'm not doing that anymore. And you're breaking that cycle. The people that you're breaking that cycle with are just going to up the ante because they don't like that you're changing. They don't like that you're putting up a boundary. So it will get worse because they will keep pushing. Like, I'm just going to keep throwing drama at this person until I get a reaction. And your job in that arena is to just double up your efforts with that boundary and really move yourself away. It's tough whenever we are changing and we are really changing the way we maneuver on this planet and trying to bring our behavior to a higher octave. But the people that we've been close to and live with and love aren't doing the same. So yes, it's very much a multi-layered question. Everything that Kristi was saying is absolutely true. Also, if you're moving away from that arena, people are going to come after you because, hey, what do you mean? What do you mean you're not reacting to my drama anymore? What do you mean? People that are used to drama don't like neutrality and calm.
Well, and when you change, you force other people to change because then they have to react to you in a different way and they don't like it. And exactly what you said, Kristi, they will come on even stronger because they want you back the way you were. And you have to really be aware of that, number one. And then number two, learn how to not be triggered by their behavior, because then it's so much easier to fall right back into that old trap again. But
It is.
yeah, I'm with you. You've done a lot of work. I can feel that. And you're right
Yeah.
now, I feel like you're on a precipice of a major shift too, a major energy shift that
Yeah.
really is powerful for you.
And when you're on that precipice of that major shift, it's gonna come at you big time
Mhm.
because, spirit, the universe is you said, universe is asking you, okay, so now you said you want to change, but do you really? Do you really want to change? We're going to make sure you really want to change because whenever you've maintained, it's like I say lifting weights. You go to the gym and you're lifting 5 pounds and you lift 5 pounds forever. It's no longer hard. Now you're going to start lifting 10 pounds. So you're bringing it up a level. The same thing with energy. You've been vibrating at this level for a long time. Now you're trying to move up. It's going to be difficult because you're taking on a higher vibration, and spirit is saying, the universe is asking you, can you maintain it? Everyone can pop up to this level, but can you maintain that level? That's when it starts getting difficult and you start getting these, you know, the temptations, let's just say. All right. So Brittany is, what is alchemy? I keep getting drop-ins about healer and alchemy, and I have no idea what I'm doing.
Ooh, I love that.
Right? That's a good one.
Yeah. What is the name of the book? The Alchemist, I think. Is that the name of the
Yes,
book?
yes, I have it on my, yeah, I have it here somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's to be very blunt and a little bit coarse with this, it's basically turning crap into gold.
Yeah.
That's what alchemy is. And we do that every day with shifting energy. We're alchemizing things and taking what no longer serves us, what is not good, and we're changing it, we're metamorphosizing it into something good, the next level that does serve us.
Yes, absolutely. Just like whenever Cozy, we're doing, because Cozy just asked that question, so let's use that as an example. If she takes these temptations and all this energy that's coming up at her and turns it and holds her boundaries and turns that into a higher vibrational situation, she's alchemized that situation.
Mhm.
Jolene, so when we hear Bible preaching from a priest or a pastor or other, we should take it with a grain of salt. It doesn't mean that person is correct. The Bible is hard to understand. My opinion on this is to use your own discernment. I think that you need to take what resonates with you. Everyone has their own belief system that they have to abide by. And I think, I teach a lot of classes. Christy has taught classes. I don't think you should go to anyone and just take what they say. If you come to me, please just take what resonates with you. Don't take everything I say. If it doesn't resonate with you, don't take it. And I believe the same with a pastor or a priest or anyone. They're only human. And to take that, and my own personal belief is that if what someone is telling me is not resonating in love, it is not for me.
Yep.
But that's my personal belief. My personal belief is it needs to resonate in love for it to take a place in my life.
I agree 100%. I don't even have anything to add to that.
Perfect. We'll go on to Stella. Stella is, oh, this is a good one, Christy. When we quantum leap, is it basically like raising your vibration or is there a difference?
Wow.
Right? This is a good one. I think Stella was like Googling, what can I stump them with? I'm just teasing you. I'm just teasing you, Stella. Totally teasing you.
I've been studying and on my journey for almost 50 years. And we have to continue to learn. We have to continue to study. And then something new always pops up. And one of them was, quantum physics. I'm like, what? Oh my God, something new I have to learn. So I think when you take a quantum leap, it's like anything. You can go from the same to the same. You can go from the same to something different. It depends on the vibrational rate. So if your intention, and I think everything in life is intention, and if your intention is, when I take this quantum leap, it is to be the next best version of myself, it is to be more enveloped in love, it's on my journey back to soul, that that to me encompasses everything, which is intention. And yes, there is a vibration, but you can also say, I'm going to take a quantum leap. Okay, let's use a travel story. We live in Omaha or Bellevue right now, and let's say, okay, I am going to go to Cincinnati on tour.
Right.
But if we go to Cincinnati and we were not good people in Omaha and we're not good people in Cincinnati, what's different? We have to go with intent of this is going to be bigger, better version of me. That's my personal opinion.
I agree 100% that we can quantum leap all over the place. And yes, if you're raising your vibration, taking every situation to a higher octave, you're going to quantum leap to a better, better reality for yourself.
Mhm.
But then, we're all tempted. I know that I always laugh. My husband, most people that know me know my husband because he's always moderating my lives or he's with me at my shows. And he's always teasing that, everyone wants a little piece of Kristi. And he says that because I am as nice as you see me. But now, am I ever tempted to not be nice? Absolutely. Just try me. We all have that temptation. We all have that ability in us. And it's in that moment what choice you're going to make. Am I going to quantum leap to a higher vibration by, making it a better choice, or I'm going to take it low? I really try.
I try to tell I'm behind the wheel of my car sometimes.
Is that where it comes up? I always laugh that people, think that, oh, they're all love and light, this and that, or, I don't have any evil in me. People think that, but you have to think about what you love most. And for me, it would be my kids or my grandbabies. I am definitely all love and light, but if you come after them, this is where free will comes in. We have a free will choice of what are we going to do.
Mhm.
All right, Tracy, can some individuals' energy be stronger while sleeping? Sounds weird, but my husband says I vibrate while sleeping.
Oh, I love that. I would say your energy isn't necessarily stronger, but you are more vulnerable when you're sleeping.
Yes.
So you allow your true essence, your true self. I say the body needs rest at night, but the soul does not. So we all leave our bodies and we're traveling around like crazy, which is typically very, very high vibration. And
Mm-hmm.
that might be why the body is vibrating, is that soul, that essence of you, the spirit is coming in, coming out.
Yes.
So to me, it's because you're more vulnerable to the true essence of who you are.
Yes. I was just about, it's funny you repeated that because in my head, when you finished talking, I was going to say, okay, Kristi, go back and repeat what you said and then you repeated it. She was reading my mind, people. Yes. Yes. Nothing that is absolutely perfect. I believe that because when you're awake, you kind of have, you're in this earth, you're on this earth, you're doing earthly things, you're vacuuming, letting the dogs out, taking care of kids. But at night, you're just letting yourself be your authentic soul self.
Yes.
Can we dive into other worlds or species? I think I need more. What do you mean by the word dive? Can you give me a little bit of clarification on that, please, Brittany?
Because I think that ties in with another question that I had, which is there really life on other planets?
I thought so too, but I wasn't sure. So go ahead and you start with that, and we'll see when Brittany clarifies if that's what she means.
Okay. Yes, there is life on other planets. And there are so many planets, there are so many universes, and we just can't grasp it. We are right here on little teeny tiny planet Earth. And so there are other species. And my personal belief is that we are all extraterrestrials, which means just not of this Earth. And I believe that we were all seeded from someplace else. And if you look around, look at the different people and the different races, the different everything, and I believe that we are all seeded from someplace else. And so when people sometimes they can be afraid of extraterrestrials, or I'm going to be abducted, oh, I'm so scared. That's not really the case, because a lot of times our extraterrestrial ancestors will come and visit us at night, or we will leave our body and go visit them, and it's like a big family reunion. Which is not an abduction by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah.
But absolutely there is life on other planets. been there. And part of our astral traveling at night is to go to those places. And either other work that we do to visit our original families. There's many, many reasons of
Yes.
why we leave our bodies at night. And some people can do it at will. During the day, they sit down and they
Mhm.
want to astral travel. I haven't mastered that one yet, but at night, I know I certainly do.
'Cause you're working too hard. You're always working. You just haven't taken time to do it. Yeah, Brittany, so you did answer. Brittany said that she heard us talk about fairies the other day. I did. If you belong to my Divine Collective, which is a program, it's a subscription program. We meet several times a month. I did a whole workshop on elementals and those types of things, and fairies, and at least in my belief system, fairies are part of the elementals, and they are absolutely true.
Yeah, and I channel an extraterrestrial. I trans channel an extraterrestrial named Dromedary, and that's my piece, my contribution to our event on Friday night. Is
Yeah.
that yes, you can listen to the words of an extraterrestrial, and he only comes with messages of hope for humanity. Because again, people they love to go down that rabbit hole of what if it's something bad? What if it's something dark? It will never happen. That's not who he is. It's not what I would allow.
Right, absolutely. Now, I want you to pay attention to what Kristi just said. It's not what she would allow. Every single person on this planet is a very strong spirit in their own right. And whenever you go to channel someone, whenever you go to sit in meditation, set your intention. Like Kristi's intention is to only bring up in the highest and the greatest good for everyone. So that's what she's going to get because she's in control of it. We're all in control of what we're going to channel and who we allow to come through.
Mhm.
Wow. Stella says, I wondered for a long time if I've ever lived in another world. Earth feels so strange. Earth is strange. Earth is actually very, just from what, I don't know, Chris, you can give me your opinion, but Earth is very dense compared to what most planets are. And most of us have lived. You can imagine if you're used to being able to sit there and think, oh, I want to go over there, and boom, you're over there. Or if you're used to being able to, I had to go into the kitchen, pour my water, bring it back here. But what if I'm from a planet where I'm like, envision the water coming this way? Earth is very strange and it is very dense. And I have it's come to me in meditation that there are a lot of us on this planet right now that haven't been to Earth in a while. We've been to other higher vibrational planets, but we've come here right now to kind of help Earth through a little thing that it's going through.
Another cycle, yes.
Yes, yes, another cycle. Brittany says she's fascinated about all of this. Well, I'm so glad you're here asking us the questions. And we're serious, Brittany. If you, Kristi and I don't. Well, I'm speaking for Kristi. I don't know. I might not. I'll be dragging her to Ohio. Come on, get in the car, Kristi. We're going.
No, I will be there.
But yes, we'd be. If you have an event center that you'd be willing to help us kind of get filled, of course, we would help with advertisement. But we need some help in that area. We'd be willing to go.
I
Okay.
took Dromedary on tour last year, and so I've got clients around the country and asked them if they would help me do it and tap into their client base and advertise. And I came up with all the materials, and it was quite successful. It was very
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah, I would love that.
But I'd like to touch on, if you think you've had a life on another planet, let's talk about past lives for a minute. Because some people will say, well, you've had 47 past lives. That could be true, but it's probably 47 Earth lives, because if the soul is infinite,
Yeah.
47 is not going to cut it. So we've all had lives on other planets, in other star systems. So absolutely, if Earth feels foreign to you, you probably haven't had that many Earth lives, and you've had more lives on off planet than you have on planet.
Cozy just asked, what are the services you both offer?
Oh, go ahead, go first.
I was trying to think through them all. Kristi and I'm just speaking for her, but I think it's true. We both have the same problem is we just keep learning. We keep learning and keep adding. I am first and foremost a psychic medium. So if you I always look at my books, like so the things that are really hot right now on my website are the psychic medium readings, the coaching. I do life coaching, soul plans, and then my healings. Those are the 4 things that are off the charts right now. And then outside of that, I do Akashic records and a couple of other things, past life regressions, those types of things. But you know, when I do a reading or I do a healing, we go wherever that needs to go. So if you come to me for a past life regression, you know, we're there just doing a past life. We talk about the one that is most relevant to this time frame. But if you come to me for a psychic reading or you come to me for a healing, we are going to track back. Whereas you have this back pain, okay, so before I actually do an energetic healing on you, let's do a little reading to see where this is coming from. Is this coming from a past life? So it kind of all interweaves.
Mm-hmm. It does. I too am a psychic medium and a Reiki master, and I do Reiki different than anybody else I've ever talked to because I incorporate sound. I run sound baths as well, but I incorporate sound, and you do get a reading in addition to Reiki, which sometimes goes into past lives. Sometimes I'll have deceased loved ones come through. So, psychic medium, Reiki master. I'm also an author. I am working on my 6th book right now.
Yes.
I know. Every time I finish a book, I am never writing another book. And then it's like, oh, got an idea. Let's go for it. And then also public speaking and
Yes,
trans
yes, yes.
channeling. Yeah, trans channeling.
Yeah, I was about to correct you on that. I was about to say, what about Ramadir? You're forgetting Ramadir.
You reminded me.
Okay, let's see here. Oh, thank you, Casey. Yeah, so if you think I've seen these ladies in person, do it. I've seen Kristi Godwin in person. It was phenomenal. Thank you, thank you. Yes, please come see us Friday right here in Omaha on the corner of 72nd and Harrison. Buy tickets on my website, Kristi Godwin Psychic Medium, KristiPederson.com, and then under the events.
And actually, the link is not on my website, but it is on my Facebook page. So
Okay,
just
very good.
Kristi Pederson on Facebook, and the link is there.
All right, there we go. Tracy said cord cutting is definitely something I'm looking into. You know, cord cutting is something that, yes, is relevant. Yes. Matter of fact, I was going to say the first time I met Kristi, she had a client, her poor next client that came in. I happened to still be there. I'm like, oh, this poor lady, let's do a group. And so we're there and we were cutting cords on her. So cutting cords are definitely something that is takes a strong part in some of my healings. And I think, of course, Kristi does it also because she was doing it the first time that we were together healing someone. And that's important to cut that energy and to do it correctly, to cut the energy to the past life or whatever, is sometimes you're cutting cords to other people.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Chelsea, when LSU goes to Omaha again, I'm making a trip to see you. Must be talking about the College World Series. Yes, look us up. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the next question here. What is a twin flame?
That one, to me, that's a tough one because there's a million different definitions for it. My definition, which I know isn't always the most popular definition, because people think twin flame and soulmate are similar. And not necessarily. To me, a twin flame is your greatest teacher. And you come together. I love you. I love you. I can't live without you. You drive me crazy. I can't stand you. I go apart, and then you come back together. And it's as you teach one another and learn from each other that to learn your greatest lessons as a human being in this lifetime. So it's not always like a soulmate is, they think love is forever or friendship is forever, which is great. Twin flame, to me, you come together, you go apart, you come together, you go apart.
Yes, yes, yes. My belief is very similar to Kristi's. I think a twin flame, a soulmate, you're separate souls. You've always been separate souls, right? A twin flame is a soul that is, in my opinion, expressed in 2 bodies. Now, this is what Kristi was talking about, is they mirror you. They mirror your deepest healing and awakening. And, it's nobody wants a mirror in our face all day. But that's what a twin flame does, is they mirror back to you where you need to be healed. And so that's where you're like, oh, I love you. We're at our greatest good. And all of a sudden that twin flame is mirroring back to you what needs to be healed. Oh, I hate you. Leave me alone. So those twin flame relationships I have found can be very volatile.
Yeah.
Oh, we answered this one. Is there really life on other planets? Yes, other planets, other other realms, everything. Okay. If anyone has listened to me at all, y'all know my opinion on this one. How can I learn to talk to the dead?
You go first on that one.
My opinion on this one is that everyone can do it. All Christy and I do when we read is we reach to other, what most people call heaven, but to other realms. We're not so special. We would not know, we wouldn't have been put on this planet with that ability without everyone having that ability. But the difference is we've honed it, we've practiced it, we've taken classes, we've worked with it. I'm sure Christy has done thousands of readings. I've done thousands of readings. So if you do something that many times, you're going to get good at it. So you learn the language of spirit. You learn through your clairs, you learn the language of spirit. I'm just going to name off a few. There's a lot more, but clear cognizance, which is clear knowing, clairvoyance, clear vision, clear audience, which is clear hearing, clear sentience, which is clear feeling. You learn the language of spirit, and then you tune your dial to whichever vibration you want to hit. Do you want to hit past relatives? Do you want to hit guides? Do you want to talk to angels? Do you want to go up? Do you want to talk to the divine? So you learn that language, and then you just tune it to whatever level you want to talk to. And everyone has the ability. Now, how you learn to do that is I did it by taking classes, but I'm a college instructor by trade. So education has always been important to me. So taking classes, reading, you can, read a lot on it, practice. It's so important to practice.
I think one of the big misnomers about talking to the dead, because I've had some of my clients ask me this, they say, but I don't see anything. Don't you see people as they walk through? And I said, no, I really don't.
Right.
It's an energy. I read energy. And the way it looks to me is driving down an asphalt highway in July and you see those heat waves. That's what it looks like to me, only it's the placement of that heat wave. So typically, mom's side of the family is here, dad's side of the family here, and it's mom, dad, grandparents, great grandparents, aunts, uncles, and in front would be spouses, children, friends. And so it's wherever I see that heat wave, it's like, oh, it looks like your father has passed. Would that be correct? And even sometimes I'll see a stair step. And over here, maybe on dad's side of the family, I said, do you have a, and I'll say, has your father passed? Which one? I said, your stepfather. Because and we learn how to do that. And it's like we create our own dictionary. That's how you learn. And
Yeah.
a big thing for me is when someone, and it shows up in my head, it doesn't show up in my eyes, it's in my head. They'll show me a 2-tiered white cake with blue frosting. It's like, okay, whose birthday was in the last 10 days or the next 10 days?
Yeah.
And I've asked for this information to be repeated. And so it's building your own dictionary, but understand you're not going to see with your eyes. You're not going to hear with your ears. You hear with your head, you hear with your gut.
Yeah. I talk a lot when I teach. Matter of fact, I'm in the middle of teaching advanced mediumship right now. I will start classes again in the springtime with intro to mediumship. I'm also teaching an angel class in the spring. But it's so important what Christy just said. You build your own dictionary. And yes, you can learn the basics. Like when you come to me for one of my classes, I will teach you the basics, but then I show you how to put your own spin on it. Because how Christy gets information is going to be different than how I get information, which is going to be different than how someone else gets information. It's not important of you getting information like we do. Please don't do that. Put your own spin on it. Let your own soul shine through whenever you are reading. But it's practice. This is such a great info, heat waves. I see this and now I know what it is. Very good. Do you have any recommendations for books on learning?
Well, learning what?
I think I'm learning this. It's so funny she asked that. So now I'm going to tell y'all that, Nicole, Spirit just used you because I like to see things in 3. It's been on my heart. I kind of started writing this book. I wasn't quite sure what way I was going to go with it. And it hit me the other day that there was never one book that I could find that went from the beginning to the end of this is how you read, and as a matter of fact, I was having a hard time in my head, even, okay, how do I build that outline? And then, so someone mentioned it to me, someone messaged me about it, and now I'm seeing this. So it's like, yes, I need to get on writing that book.
Okay. I'm going to self-promote here for just a minute.
Please do, Kristi. Please
I wrote a
do.
book, Between Earth and Heaven, A Beginner's Guide to Living a Spiritual Life. And inside, it's basically in 3 parts. And the first part is exactly what we were just talking about, with how to develop your own intuition, how to develop mediumship. The second part are the top most popular 24 modalities. Because if someone says, well, I want to develop it, and someone says, well, go to an expo. And you go to an expo and there's 100 booths. And it's like, this really isn't helpful.
Right.
So I broke down the 24 most popular modalities here with just a bite-sized description. So you can go through it and go, ooh, there's where I want to learn more. And then the next one is like, yeah, that doesn't resonate with me. And then the last part is recommended reading for each of those topics.
Very good. Please do self-promote all the time.
Yeah, that's on Amazon, or you can get it directly.
Now, what was the name of that again, Kristi?
Between Earth and Heaven, A Beginner's Guide to Living a Spiritual Life.
Between Earth and Heaven. So Between Earth and Heaven, Kristi Pederson. That'd be easy to remember.
Yes. And I want to tell a quick story. You see this bright light right here? My friend Angie and I were on a retreat, and there was a labyrinth there. And you're supposed to walk a labyrinth and ask for something. And the last time I walked it, I said, I'm just going to walk with gratitude this time. And I walked it, and about halfway through, I felt the face of God smile on me. And I went back. I could hardly wait to tell Angie. And she goes, I got the message. She's also a psychic medium, to pick up my phone. And she captured that exact moment. This is not Photoshop.
I just got
Isn't that cool?
Here, let me say that I'm putting it in the chat.
Between Earth and Heaven.
Between Earth and Heaven.
A Beginner's Guide to Living a Spiritual Life.
Let me see if I can type your name correctly. My fat fingers. There you go. All right. I just put it in the chat.
Oh, thank you.
So y'all can, copy that and put it into Amazon, and it will come up. And yes, she will have, I'm speaking for her. I'm just assuming you're going to have this event at Friday.
I will have them at the event. Yes, I'll have all my books at the event.
Yes, I am. I have to stop doing that, Kristi, speaking for you. Correct me if I'm wrong when I do that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. So now, is everyone, kind of talked a little bit about this in my answer to the last question, but is everyone psychic?
Yeah. Everyone is. It's like anybody can, when they're born, they can play sports. They can play a musical instrument. Not everybody's Michael Jordan. Not everybody's Beethoven. Right. So everybody has got the ability. And let's say chopsticks. Everybody can play chopsticks. And it'd be like, yeah, that's fine. I'm good with that. Or other people, it's like they're born just knowing, and they're maybe a little bit more open, and they can play Beethoven. But the chopstick people can say, I want to take piano lessons. I want to learn a little bit more. And that's what Kristi and I have done. We were born with a certain ability, but we've chosen to develop that, hone that, and practice.
Practice. Yes, so much practice. And you know what I've also is, I still go into every day learning something. I have opened myself, and I tell Spirit, okay, teach me today. So in every reading, I find myself learning something, learning how to feel a new emotion, how to deliver a new message, how to heal a new hurt. So I definitely, Spirit has now become my greatest teacher.
Yeah.
In that.
And my clients too. I always say I learn just as much from them as they learn from me. When they come with their ideas, their hopes, their dreams, their struggles, it's like attending a masterclass.
Yes, absolutely. How do you handle when you know people are lying? I try to hit them with love like Kristi, but I really just want to hit them. Who says I don't want to hit them, Cozy? Kristi never said she doesn't. I just make different.
That's so funny.
Yes. So, it's difficult sometimes when you can have someone. Now it used to bother me. Now it kind of makes me chuckle on the inside when I know someone is lying, because they're only hurting themselves. Yeah. So I've really gotten to a point of neutrality with that. Yes, it used to really bother me, but now, and I just wanted them to prove. I wanted to prove they were wrong. But I have to worry about myself, and I know that I am. I know they're lying, and I just know that is something that they're going to have to come to terms with, and they're only hurting themselves.
Yeah, they will get caught eventually in all the lies
Yeah.
and have to suffer the embarrassment, the humiliation, and that's usually the greatest lesson.
Yeah, I had someone I was mentoring, and she was going through a messy divorce, and of course, the ex was lying, 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 and, what do you do? It's such a waste of energy to, oh, yes, you want to address it at some, but then you just leave it. And I just kept saying, take the higher road, take it to the higher octave, take it to the higher octave. And I said, in 2 years, that's when everyone's going to really see. And of course, she wanted to just punch me when I said it was going to take 2 years for, that energy to turn and for everyone to really see those lies for what they were. And it did take 2 years. And, it was so beautiful though when she could see how people were coming back to her saying, "We didn't realize. We're so sorry." People started coming back to her apologizing because they didn't realize his lies. I understand, Cozy. It can be very frustrating to hold that line, to hold that energy when you know someone is lying. But when you're on a healing journey, that's what we're called to do. But we do have sympathy for you. We do.
Yes, yes, we do.
Yes, we do. We have been there. Now, what is meant by 3D going into 4D?
The planet Earth, as you mentioned earlier, Christy, is a very dense planet, and it is vibrating at 3D, which is density. And a lot of people get density and dimension confused, and they'll intermix them, and they're very different things. Dimension is a place, and density, excuse me, density is a vibration. So we are on this planet, when we talked about that earlier, is when you think we are maybe have had lives off planet, we are here for a specific reason in a specific time, and that is to help raise the vibration of the planet. And that is moving into 4D and hopefully eventually 5D. And that is many of us, we are planted around the planet in specific locations to create a balance. So it's not one particular place that has a high vibration, it's the entire planet. And we are here as specific souls doing our human jobs, but it's the energy of being either a star seed, someone who has very, very high vibrational energy. And so that's the difference, is we are helping to raise the entire planet into fourth density, which just means a higher vibration.
Perfect. I don't thi this goes back. I've talked about a lot. I talked about this last night. I don't know. I know some of you that are on here in the Divine Collective, and we talked about it. And this is what I was talking about, how sometimes we are just planted to hold the vibration and how we treat people and maneuver on a daily basis. I know most of you know my husband's retired from the military. So when we got orders, this was going to be our last duty station, like the last set of orders we got. We were going to go to Louisiana. I had wanted to go to Louisiana. That was my home state. And we had orders. They hadn't been cut yet. And so anyone knows anything about the military, you don't really hang your hat until those orders are in hand. And even then they can change, but if they're in hand, you feel a little bit better about it. So we didn't have them in hand, but we had verbally heard from several people that we were going to Louisiana. So, in my head, Kristi has moved to Louisiana now, right? We're in Utah. But I knew I was just waiting for the order. So, my husband never comes home and hands me orders. So I should have known then that something was wrong when he walks in the door and hands me the piece of paper. And so I remember looking at it and said, I think I'm confused. These are written in militaryese because it looks like this says we're going to Offutt Air Force Base. It should be saying Barksdale. I think there's some confusion. There was no confusion. He was by name requested to come here. And so, how even in the military, how I would navigate those situations is knowing that it took me longer on that one than it had any of the other ones. It took me like half a day to wrap my brain around it. But to know that I was being sent here for a reason. So sometimes when we can't see the whys, I didn't know why I was coming here. I want to go home. We have to understand that we are of service to a higher power, to our higher selves, to the planet, to the universe. And so I knew, so I was like, okay, it'll be interesting what's in store for me when we head to Omaha. I had no idea that I was going to become a psychic medium. And here we are. Pam, don't encourage that kind of behavior. I'm teasing you, Pam. Well, I'm going to be there Friday also. Um, I am so thankful for y'all joining us today. I know that some people on here I will be seeing on Friday, and I'm so thankful for y'all being there with us on Friday. And if you're in the Omaha area, please join us. Tickets are available on Kristi's Facebook page. They're available on my website, Kristi Godwin Psychic Medium, under events. And you just purchase your tickets and show up. It's a cute little, just a cozy little, it's not too little, but it's a cozy coffee shop, just super cute. And again, I know that some of you mentioned it, Tristan and I are serious. If you have connections and you are, within driving distance of us, we will definitely, and you can help us get a place and get it filled, we will definitely show up.
Absolutely.
Oh, happy. I will tell him. I'll tell him that y'all are thanking him for his service. He's currently down digging out some Christmas trees. So I'll let him know. Thank y'all for joining us. And I hope everyone has a blessed afternoon.
And hope to see you all Friday night.
Yes, Friday night, 6:30, Coffee Alley, corner of 72nd and Harrison.